My name is Jim Jacoby with ADMCI, the American Design and Mastercraft Initiative. We're here today at 1871. Our offices are actually located here primarily because we find that the energy is really good. The companies that are starting up here are actually very good test cases for some of the classwork that we actually deliver. And 1871 is really just a good place to be part of the fabric of Chicago. We're putting together training programs for corporate offerings, primarily custom training that allows a company to take on entirely new skill sets and transform their culture in the process. Companies need ADMCI right now because many of them have outsourced their customer experience, which is not really intuitive immediately. Working with agencies, working with outside consultancies, companies have actually put themselves at risk by putting so much of their customer experience in the hands of other people. What's missing in training today between companies is this ability to create staff who have the ability to execute on design or to communicate through design thinking in a meaningful way. And so we provide that program in a compressed package, so it's very efficient, but it's still very likely to affect change in the organization.
There weren't a lot of offerings like this, and so I immediately saw it as a great opportunity.
Our programs are designed to actually affect change within the organization and make teams more capable of designing.
I sort of remember the first day thinking that I would be sort of out of my element when I found myself completely in my element.
So after a company has worked with ADMCI, the most notable change we see is that they have a much more efficient language for communicating across groups within the organization.
And so for me now to have a name for it and to kind of have a little bit of a process, I have staff members that actually could speak the language and the terms to each other, to the programmer, from the programmer to the producer who's creating the content, actually shooting it. That kind of never happened before.
So technologists understand the process of design, marketers understand how better to work with their agencies, executives understand how the process of this design thinking works.
It's important to learn about this field even if you don't expect to ever actually do any physical work in this field.
So we find companies to be more efficient, more likely to innovate, and less likely to change direction. And what that does long term is it makes for a culture that's more vibrant, more interesting to be a part of, and much more in control of its own destiny. So we find that implementing these programs makes for not just a good training experience, but a cultural transformation inside the company.